We're in another short satellite handover in less than a minute to sunrise as the International Space Station begins to approach the United States. Next major milestone for Dragon will be to reach that capture point about 10 meters away from the space station, and astronauts aboard will use the Canadarm2 to reach out and grapple it before ground teams bring it up to berth with the Harmony module later this morning.
Station Houston on 2, confirm capture point hold per step 6 in 1.102.
Station copies, in work.
As you just heard, the confirmation that Dragon is holding at the capture point just a little bit over 10 meters away. Now that it has arrived, teams are conducting a final go and no-go. That's the final steps that everything is checking out, and the crew can take controls of the Canadarm2 before driving it in to capture the vehicle.
And Houston station for Dragon. We've confirmed capture conditions, and we're ready for Dragon capture.
Houston copies, stand by for capture.
Standing by.
Station Houston, you are go for capture sequence. Perform step 4 in 1.110 Dragon capture and begin monitoring the backaway cue card.
And Houston station copies, we're go for capture. Just for your SA, we're going to wait 3 or 4 minutes here to let the sun get out of our face, and we'll step into step 4 in 1.110.
Sounds good.
As you just heard, the crew is go for capture, and they are holding until the lighting is a little bit better on their side. They're stepping through their procedures, and when they decide to drive that Canadarm, we'll start to see the arm get closer to the Dragon capsule and that capture point, which you can see that three-pronged little grapple fixture right in the middle of the capsule. Station will be crossing the Terminator line soon. That's the difference between daylight and darkness, as it's currently flying over Canada at over 17,000 miles an hour. Dragon is holding steady at the capture point. Next step is for astronauts to use the Canadarm2 to drive in and grapple the spacecraft. They're awaiting their desired lighting conditions, and everything is proceeding as scheduled. This is a view from the Canadarm2. We will see it over the next several minutes slowly get closer to the Dragon. And on the left is a view from the cupola workstation where Canadian astronaut David St. Jacques is commanding the Canadarm2 this morning. Canadarm2 is now in motion and aligning with the vehicle. When the Canadarm is in motion, there is a no exercise rule on the space station to prevent any vibrations from disturbing the position of the arm. Astronauts now maneuvering that Canadarm2 into place and starting to drive it toward the capsule. Canadarm2 now 5.5 meters away. The arm now 4 meters away from that grapple fixture. Now 2.5 meters away from the space station, and Dragon is in free drift. The arm is now 1 meter from Dragon. The arm is over the pin. And we have capture of the SpaceX Cargo Dragon on its 17th commercial resupply mission to the International Space Station. Capture occurred at 6:01 a.m. Central Time as the station and Dragon were flying over the North Atlantic Ocean. Canadian Space Agency astronaut David St. Jacques used the Canadarm2 to maneuver towards the Dragon and grapple that fixture in the middle of the capsule. This comes after a 2-day journey for Dragon and its launch on May the 4th.
And Houston, station on 2, capture is complete. Your go for post-capture reconfigurations.
Well done, well captured. Way to make it look easy.
To all the teams around the world, we welcome to ISS the Dragon spacecraft as part of the SpaceX 17 cargo resupply mission. Dragon left Cape Canaveral 2 days ago and brings to ISS more than 2,500 kilos of supplies, equipment, and scientific equipment from institutions and companies around the world. It's noteworthy that this is the second flight of this particular capsule, which flew the SpaceX 12 mission. En tant que Canadien, chaque utilisation de Canadarm2 me rend fier. As a Canadian, I'm proud every time we use Canadarm2 for free fire capture. There's not always a Canadian crew member on board ISS, but in a way, the Canadian engineers and technicians who built and support Canadarm2 and Dexter, they are always on board, if not in body, at least in spirit. Their ingenuity and sense of innovation regularly echoes up here and is an inspiration to us all. And as we speak, robotics operators and support teams in Houston and Saint-Hubert are busy preparing to remote control Canadarm2 to berth the Dragon spacecraft on a docking port at the bottom of the Tranquility node. And even before the launch, Canadian Robotics was involved in repairs to the ISS power system that were required for today's operations. The extra effort of the joint Canadian and U.S. operations and engineering teams working around the clock saved the day. Such is the value of the partnership of this international program. My crew and I are proud to be part of this today, representing the dedicated teams of talented people who, every day, make the seemingly impossible a reality. Ensemble, nous continuerons d'explorer toujours plus haut et plus loin. We're looking forward to exploring higher and farther together. Bienvenue à bord, Dragon. Welcome on board, Dragon.
Beautiful words, David. Go team. We're all proud to be part of this mission as well. And congratulations on a successful capture.
That was Canadian Space Agency astronaut David St. Jacques, who just used the Canadarm2 to grapple SpaceX's Dragon and attach it to the International Space Station. Initial capture occurred at 6:01 a.m. Central Time, with capture confirmed at 6:03 a.m., flying over the North Atlantic Ocean. Controls of the Canadarm2 will now be turned back over to the ground, and robotics controllers here will use that to maneuver the SpaceX Dragon to attach it to the space station's Harmony module. Thanks for joining us this morning as we have been covering the capture of the SpaceX Dragon on its 17th commercial resupply mission to the International Space Station. Dragon was captured this morning by Canadian Space Agency astronaut David Saint-Jacques using the Canadarm2, and he has now turned those controls back over to ground teams who will later berth the vehicle to the Harmony module on board the station. Capture occurred at 6:03 a.m. Central Time, with the space station flying over the North Atlantic Ocean, and our coverage of the berthing of the SpaceX Dragon to the International Space Station will begin at 8 a.m. Central Time. This 5,500 pounds of crew supplies, hardware, research, and more will stay attached to the International Space Station for about a month. But the next milestone for the morning is that berthing to the Harmony module. That wraps up our capture coverage for now, but we hope you will join us for that 8 a.m. coverage of the berthing. And this is Mission Control Houston.